It was supposed to be the perfect beginning of our lives together. After months of wedding planning, endless rituals, and constant family gatherings, my wife and I finally had a moment to ourselves. We had rented a car, packed our bags, and decided to take a road trip to a secluded cabin by the lake, just the two of us, away from the world. The road was long and winding, stretching out ahead like a black ribbon. It was late evening, and the sky was draped in shades of violet and crimson as the sun dipped below the hills. The air was filled with the smell of wildflowers and damp earth, and we had the windows down, letting the cool breeze sweep through the car. My wife hummed softly to an old love song playing on the radio, her hand resting on mine. It felt right, just us, the open road, and the promise of an adventure. About an hour into our drive, we realized we hadn't seen another car in ages. The road had turned eerily quiet, and the woods on either side seemed to grow denser, casting shadows that danced like phantoms. I tried to shake off the uneasy feeling creeping up my spine, telling myself it was just the excitement of being alone. Then we saw it, a lone figure standing by the side of the road, his clothes tattered and his face obscured by the shadows. He didn't move, didn't gesture for help, just stood there, motionless, like a statue. I slowed the car down out of instinct, but my wife squeezed my hand tighter, whispering, "Don't stop." I didn't. I pressed on the gas, and as we passed him, I couldn't help but glance in the rearview mirror. He was gone. My heart pounded, and my wife was pale, her eyes wide. "Did you see that?" she whispered. "Yeah," I replied, my voice trembling. "But he's gone now. Must have just been my eyes playing tricks." As night fell, the radio began to crackle, the music distorting and fading into static. I tried to tune it, but every station was the same, garbled noises and faint whispers. Suddenly, there was a loud bang, and the car lurched to one side. I pulled over, cursing under my breath. A flat tire. I got out to check, flashlight in hand, while my wife stayed inside, nervously locking the doors. The tire was shredded, as if clawed apart. My stomach twisted. As I worked to change it, I heard something, a soft scraping sound coming from the woods. I froze, straining to listen. Silence. Then, a low, wet chuckle. I spun around, but there was nothing there. My wife called out, her voice muffled by the car windows. I hurried back, telling myself it was just nerves, but when I looked at the window, I saw a handprint smeared across the glass. Long, bony fingers traced with dirt and something darker. I jumped into the car, locking the doors. "We need to go? Now." My wife's face was ashen. "That wasn't there before," she whispered. The car roared to life, and we sped down the road. I glanced at her, trying to stay calm, but when I looked ahead, I slammed the brakes. The figure was standing in the middle of the road, grinning, his mouth too wide, eyes like bottomless pits. I reversed, heart pounding, but as I did, the radio blared, an inhuman screech that made us cover our ears. The figure began to move, jerking like a puppet, and I floored it, swerving around him. I didn't look back, didn't dare. My wife sobbed quietly, clutching my arm, and I kept driving, praying the road would lead somewhere safe. But the road seemed endless, looping back on itself, and every few miles, we saw him again, standing on the roadside, grinning, closer each time. I could feel his presence pressing against the windows, whispering our names in that wet, broken voice. My wife sobbed, begging me to make it stop, but I didn't know how. I gripped the wheel, knuckles white, heart thudding like a drum. Suddenly, the car began to slow down on its own, as if something was dragging it backward. I slammed the accelerator, but it was no use. The road itself seemed to be stretching, warping, pulling us back toward the figure. My wife screamed, and I could see dark hands emerging from the road, clawing at the tires, leaving deep, jagged marks on the asphalt. The whispers grew louder, overlapping into a chaotic symphony of threats and pleas. Desperate, I looked at my wife, who was clutching her locket, whispering prayers. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. My wife screamed again, and suddenly, the figure was gone. The car shot forward, the dragging force released. I didn't stop, not until dawn broke and the road finally led us to the cabin. Even now, as I sit here, holding my wife's trembling hand, I can still hear the whispers on the wind, and I know the road isn't done with us yet.